Chris Bunbury with Environmental Risk Managers, and along with Tim Wells of CIC Services, we'd like to welcome you to EnviroCap, the environmental insurance that pays you back. This presentation we designed as an educational resource for you because a long time ago when I got started in the environmental insurance industry, I realized you do not sell environmental insurance. What you do is you educate your insureds so they can make an informed decision if investing in pollution insurance will add value to their business model. So sit back and see how and why EnviroCap cracks the code for environmental insurance. EnviroCap offers two captive program options. For insureds that need to be with a rated carrier, we have an A-rated carrier option. And if you have somebody who does not need to be with a rated carrier, we have a direct written captive program available. Now, EnviroCap is environmental insurance that pays you back by helping your clients to have pollution insurance with robust limits while owning their own captive insurance company and able to have savings up to 60%. So we have a little bit of information in here on environmental risk managers. We also have some background information on CIC Services, a little my history and bio, and also a bio on Tim and what he's been doing in the captive insurance space. So the first thing we like to make sure we're all on the same page with is making sure we understand what a pollutant is. Because when you look at an insurance policy, it describes a pollutant as smoke, soot, vapors, fumes, acid, alkalis. Well, I'm not a scientist, and I assume most of the people you're going to work with aren't either. So based upon the way courts and insurance companies have responded to claims in the past, we've come up with a definition we think is much easier for you to understand. And quite simply, a pollutant is a material, substance, liquid, or product which gets introduced into the environment for other than its intended use or purpose. So in other words, something that ends up where it doesn't belong. In one situation, we had fresh water. And fresh water was accidentally put into a saltwater aquarium and it killed off the aquatic life. When they filed a claim, the claim was denied, saying that the fresh water was a pollutant. In another situation, all places Wisconsin, we had a cheese delivery truck that got into an accident, caught on fire, the cheese melted, went down into the sewer systems, coagulated, and caused sewer backups. And when a claim was filed, the claim was denied, saying that the cheese was a pollutant. And we have examples with beer and milk and several other items out there. So it's important to understand that a pollutant isn't just some cancer-causing, skin-burning chemical. It can be something as simple as fresh water. So environmental risks are becoming increasingly difficult to manage. And one of the things that as time goes on, environmental risks are increasing both in number and size, along with new emerging contaminants such as PFAS, glyphosate, and other new discoveries that we're finding out about. So this results in increasing insurance rates that the current commercial market can't keep up with. And one thing we do know for sure is that as rates increase, coverage will be reduced, which means you could lose critical coverage for your business. Most businesses are not adequately protected for environmental risk, is the bottom line. So the solution is EnviroCap. EnviroCap allows you to retain up to 60% of the insurance premiums, obtain environmental coverage that is unique to the specific business, create a new profit center, and protect assets from environmental risk. And again, we have two options for you, which Tim's going to go over in just a moment, and we will discuss that in more detail. Now, as you understand your current traditional structure for purchasing insurance is you have a business, they pay a premium to a carrier, and the carrier affords them coverage. But with EnviroCap, we have a better way to be able to protect your insureds from their environmental exposures. And Tim, would you please walk us through this process?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. As you can see here, the same insured business there on the left being owned by the business owner, while we're illustrating the captive on the right, which is also going to be owned by that same business owner. The business is going to continue paying premiums or making an investment. In our example, $750,000 is paid to carrier A, which is an A-rated carrier. The difference with EnviroCap is that now this A-rated carrier is going to cede premiums to the owner's captive, as you can see demonstrated on the right-hand side of the slide, in the amount of $450,000 in exchange for reinsurance. The captive does not stand on its own. The captive takes a preliminary layer of retention. And as you can see here, the rated carrier stands above the captive to provide full coverage up to policy limits. And here's a pro forma illustration of a captive whereby it is taking in $750,000 of gross written premium. You can see the corresponding fees, commissions, claims paid, resulting in net income of just over $200,000 to the captive in year one. If you look out over 5 years, the total in reserves within the captive is going to be nearly $1.3 million that your client now retains inside of their captive, as opposed to being retained by the traditional carrier. As Chris mentioned, we also have a non-fronted solution whereby the captive directly issues policies to the insured. This is demonstrated here in a very similar scenario whereby that same shareholder owns the insured business as well as the captive, and the captive is being backstopped or reinsured by the EnviroCap reinsurance pool. And again, the same layering concept here whereby the captive retains that initial layer of exposure with the reinsurance company, the EnviroCap reinsurance pool standing above the captive. And similar to the pro forma that we just looked at, this is a pro forma whereby $250,000 of coverage is being written. Again, you're going to see those claims and corresponding expenses associated with the captive, resulting in approximately $87,000 of net income to the captive in year one. And after 5 years, nearly $600,000 that the business owner has been able to retain.
Now, some of the coverages that we have available in EnviroCap are site pollution, contractors pollution. Something I'm very excited about is general liability, so that we can bring the general liability and pollution coverages together so that the minimum investment is easier reached by a broader spectrum of potential clients. We have products pollution coverage, transportation, professional liability, non-owned disposal sites, storage tanks, product recall, and so much more. As you can see, this is very robust coverage available to your insureds. Now, the sample class of candidates, when I first got started in the environmental business, almost 100% of the businesses we were selling to were asbestos and lead abatement contractors, industrial waste haulers, disposal facilities. However, today, the businesses that are buying pollution insurance are your everyday standard commercial insured. So this is just a partial list of potential candidates that you should think about for the EnviroCap program. And how do you obtain coverage? Well, you're the agent for an insured. You identify there's some environmental exposures they have. You contact Tim or myself. We start the process moving forward. We then put together a program that you're able to present to your clients so they're able to see the broadness of coverage that's available, the cost it will be, and the investment that they need to make for that coverage.
The minimum investment for the fronted captive program is $750,000. As Chris just said, that is combined both pollution and GL. For the direct written program, the investment minimum is $250,000. As with any captive, there is corresponding formation cost. For the EnviroCap program, as you can see, that's between $40,000 and $75,000. And lastly, capital and collateral. Capital is going to be determined by the domicile regulator, whereby that collateral requirement of somewhere between 25% and 150% of the first year premium will be determined by the fronting carrier.
So in conclusion, EnviroCap offers a custom designed, unique program for the company that is forming it to capitalize the captive. It allows for policy language that is tailored to the specific needs of the captive insured, thus lowering costs while increasing profits over using traditional insurance. Should you have any further questions or information that you would like, please reach out to Tim or myself. We have other information we'll be forwarding on, but we thank you very much for your time and hope you found this EnviroCap webinar beneficial. Thank you for your time.